Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is invite you guys to the Jamboard. All right, so if you will click on that link inside of the chat box, that'll open up your link for the Jamboard. Okay, were you guys able to open the link?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loading.
Okay, good. So are you able to see this on your screen?
No.
No.
On the Jamboard, you can't see this drawing right here?
No.
Did you click the link in the chat?
Yeah.
Okay, are you able to see me?
No.
Okay, so hold on. I want to just want to make sure you're getting link. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this Jamboard, and I'll open
Okay,
it.
I see now.
Oh, I see it now too.
Oh, you can see it now? Okay, it just took a minute
Yeah.
for it to load. All right, so what does this say?
Hello.
All right, perfect. All right, want to make sure it was working. All right, so one of the last things we worked on, together, was distribution, okay? Today we're going to work on something a little different. It's the inverse of a sum and simplifying. Sounds difficult, but it's really not. It's kind of the same idea as distribution. Remember, if we have like 7 times x minus 2, so what do? We take our whatever's outside of parentheses and we multiply it times inside the parentheses. So actually, what's 7 times x?
7 times x.
7x.
7x, perfect. 7x. And then what is 7 times 2?
14.
14. And since we have a negative and a positive, with the signs being different, the answer will be negative. So we have negative 14. And this is it. You recall, this is the only thing we had to do when we're distributing. All we're doing is we're taking what's outside the parentheses, multiplying times what's inside the parentheses, and we get rid of our parentheses, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's check out another one. If we have 5 times t minus 8. All right, so Ashley, we're going to multiply 5 times what?
5 times t, which makes 5t.
Exactly. 5 times t equals what? I'm sorry.
5t.
Uh-huh. And then we multiply 5 times what else?
5 negative 8.
Exactly. And what's 5 times 8?
40.
40.
Negative 40.
Negative 40 because the signs are different. Excellent, kid. Our answer is 5t minus 40. All right. So, Leia, I'm going to have you do the next one, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If we have 9 times y minus 5. What are we going to multiply 9 times first, kid?
9 times y. And that's
Exactly. And 9 times y equals what?
x.
I'm sorry.
Wait. 9y?
9y. 9y. Perfect. 9y. And then what is 9 times 5?
45. So negative 45.
Negative 45. Excellent. You guys have definitely got distribution down to a science. I love it. So, if you will open your book to page, let me see, 96. You guys get to page 96, let me know, please.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I'm here.
All right, great. So it's got a kind of a big, long, scary title. The inverse of a sum and simplifying. Not so hard. Pretty much the same thing we're doing when we're doing distribution, only you're going to see problems like this. You're going to see negative 2x plus 7, okay?
Mhm.
Now, before we had a number outside of our inside our parentheses to multiply through our term that's inside the parentheses, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is really no different. Anytime, like we were doing, anytime there's a number outside, we're going to multiply through. If there is just a negative sign, we're always going to assume there's the number 1 there. The inverse is the opposite. So if we have 53, the inverse of 53 is negative 53, right?
Yeah.
Just the opposite. Inverse means opposite. So we're going to find the inverse or opposite of this term. The way we're going to do that is when we see the negative sign sitting outside, we'll just assume there's a 1 here. Now we're going to go right back to our regular distribution. We're going to multiply the negative 1 times 2. What is 1 times 2?
2.
2. And since the signs are different, positive or negative?
Negative.
Right. So we have negative 2x, and then we're going to multiply the negative 1 times 7. What's 1 times 7?
7.
And since what's that, height?
Positive 7.
Those signs are different. Remember, we have a negative times a positive. If the signs are different, our answer is negative, remember?
Yeah.
So we have negative 7. Now this becomes our answer. And then why is it the inverse? The opposite? Because up here we had positive 2x plus 7, but by multiplying our negative 1 outside through the term, we've made the opposite. We have negative 2 minus 7. Notice how negative 2 minus 7 is the opposite of 2x plus 7, correct?
Yes.
So it's really simple. It's still distribution. But to find the inverse of a sum, or the inverse and the sum being addition, all we do is we multiply that negative 1 through if there's no number sitting outside the parentheses. If we have a number sitting outside the parentheses, we'll multiply that number through. But either way, it's going to give us the inverse or the opposite. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Saleha?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's do another one, okay? These are all stuff we're doing together. You just have to follow along with me. So if we have negative, and then we have times 5x minus 8. So Leah, what's that number we're going to just assume is outside if there's no number there?
1.
1, perfect. So we'll just write that there to help us out. And then what are we going to multiply the negative 1 times?
1 times 5
Perfect. So 1 times 5x is what?
is 5x.
5x, and it's going to be positive or negative? Negative, exactly. Negative because the signs are different. So we have negative 5x. And then what else do we multiply the negative 1 times?
Negative 1 times 8.
Right, negative 1 times negative 8, which is what?
8.
8. And since the signs are different, the answer will be positive or negative. I'm sorry, the signs are the same, so the answer will be positive or negative.
Negative.
Remember, if the signs are the same, the answer is positive.
Oh, okay.
If we have a negative 1 multiplying times a negative 8, we'll have a positive number, and it will be 8.
All right.
Okay, and if you notice, the signs are completely, we've done the inverse, right, which is the opposite. This was a positive 5x minus 8. Now we have a negative 5x plus positive 8. All we've done is we've flipped it. We've created the inverse or the opposite. You guys able to see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, both of you?
Yeah.
Good job. All right, I'm gonna do a couple more with you, and then we're gonna do some together. So here's more than one term. So if we have a negative 4a, sorry, my a is not too big, plus 3b plus 2c. Now it doesn't matter how many expressions we have, how many terms we have inside that expression, we're going to do the exact same thing. So Ashley, what do we assume is sitting outside the parentheses since there's no number?
1.
Exactly. And then what are we going to do with that 1? We're going to multiply -1 times 4.
4.
Positive or negative?
Negative.
Exactly. Good job. -4a. And then we're going to do -1 times 3b, which is
Negative 3b.
-3b. Excellent. And then our -1 times 2c.
That's negative 2c.
-2c. That is excellent job. I like it. This is our answer. And if we look closely, we have created the inverse, the opposite. We have turned our positive 4a into a negative 4a. We have turned our positive 3b into a negative 3b. We have changed our positive 2c into a negative 2c. We have created the opposite, or the inverse, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're going to start something you guys are going to write down. So first on the top of your page, make sure we have the right heading. Please write 2.8, page 96, numbers 2 through 30 even. Okay, this is what you're going to have at the top of your paper. So that when you submit it, I know exactly what it is. AJ, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Good. Sorry about being late.
It's all right. Glad to see you made it. So while you guys are doing that, I'm going to do a couple of these with AJ to make sure he understands it, okay?
Okay.
All right, so AJ, do you have your book,
Yeah.
paper, and pencil?
Yes, I have paper and pencil in my notebook.
Do you have your textbook?
Yes.
Excellent, man. Can you turn to page 96, please?
I'm already on 96.
Man, look at you, dude. You showed up prepared. I'm very proud of you. All right. So what we're working on is we're doing, it's called finding the inverse of a sum, okay? An inverse is opposite. I'm going to explain it to you just like I did Sophia and, I'm sorry, not Sophia, but Ashley and Saleya, okay? An inverse just means the opposite. So the example I gave them is if you have 53, the opposite of 53 is negative 53, correct?
Yes.
The opposite, right? The opposite of having $53 in your pocket is owing somebody $53. Complete opposite. Right?
Right.
All right. So last class we were together, we were doing substitute. I'm sorry. I want to make sure I'm giving you the same problems. We were doing distribution the last time we were together. So if you remember, if we had 2 on the outside of the parentheses times 5x plus 3. Remember, we take whatever's outside of our parentheses, multiply it times what's inside of the parentheses. So what's 2 times 5?
5 times 2.
Yes, sir.
5 times 2 is 10.
10. So we have 10x. And then what is 2 times 3?
6.
6. So plus 6. Both sides are the same, so it's a positive. So you remember we were doing the distribution. To clear all we're doing is getting rid of the parentheses, all right? Remember that was the last assignment we were doing in 2.7?
Yes.
Okay. So in our next assignment, we're doing the same thing. It's the same idea. Only we don't have a number outside. We're giving problems like negative 2x minus 7. Okay?
I think I know what we would do.
Okay, tell me, buddy.
Since the negative is outside the parentheses, you would automatically assume that that's a 1. So you would do the same thing and multiply inside the parentheses. So 1 negative, you do 1 times 2 would be 2.
Would
It would be 2x.
Hold on a second. Would it be positive or
Negative
negative 2? Negative 2. Good job. Negative 2x. And then
negative 1 times 7 is positive 7.
Positive 7. Hey, AJ, can I tell you something? AJ,
Yes.
that was fantastic, dude. That was fantastic. You know, I'd love to see that you remember that rule from you taken algebra before, like in middle school?
Yes.
It's good to see that sticking with you, bud. That is awesome. Great job. Well, since you're up to speed, we can all start working together. So we're going to be doing 2 through 30 even. Saleya and Ashley, you guys ready to roll?
Yeah.
Ash?
Sorry, I was working on it.
No, it's okay. It's all right. All right, so we're going to do 2 together. So on your paper, all right, number 2. Number 2 says negative 3x minus 5, or plus 5, sorry. All right, who'd like to solve that one first?
Me, I'll do it.
All right, Saleya, you're up, kid. What's outside the parentheses?
1, negative 1.
Negative 1, okay, and then tell me what we do with it.
Multiply negative 1 times 3. And that's going to be 3x.
Positive or negative 3x?
Negative 3x.
Excellent. And then?
And then multiply negative 1 times positive 5. And that's negative 5.
Negative 5. Fantastic job, kid. Fantastic job. So our answer becomes negative 3x minus 5. Angel, if you can go ahead and unmute if you want, as long as your background's quiet, bud. That way you can chime in. AJ?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and stay unmuted. Excuse me. Go ahead and stay unmuted so you can participate, okay?
Okay.
All right. So make sure you guys all have that written down on your paper, okay?
Okay.
Hold on.
Ashley, you got that written down, kiddo?
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, okay. You can stay unmuted. That way you can answer questions when I ask you one or when you have something to say, okay?
Okay.
All right. So you guys all have that written down? I'm gonna
Yes.
let's go on to number 4.
Sam, hurry up, he's
Number
outside.
4 is negative 6x minus 7. All right. Who's gonna do that one? Ashley or AJ?
Sorry, it's kind of noisy.
That's okay. Do you want to do this one, AJ?
Oh, yeah, I know how to do it. It's negative 1 times 6.
Which is?
6, negative 1. I mean, negative 6.
Negative 6x. Don't forget the variable, okay? And then what do we do?
Negative 1 times negative 7.
Perfect. Which is?
Positive 7.
Positive 7. Exactly. That's our answer. So guys, make note that we have created the opposite, where this is positive 6x minus 7. Now we have negative 6x plus 7. You guys are able to see the inverse or opposite, right?
Right.
Saleya?
Yeah, I'm listening.
No, I know. I just want to make sure you're able to see that we've created the opposite or the
Don't worry
inverse
about the cut. Just
Okay.
by multiplying that negative 1 through the term.
All right.
Ashley, you got that too, right, kiddo?
Yeah,
All right, you guys are doing a great job.
I just need help on number 14. That's it.
You moved ahead to 14?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay, yeah, AJ, go ahead and mute until you have something that you want to add, okay, buddy? Just because that's a lot of background noise.
Sorry.
It's all right, bud. You can't control that. It's not your fault. All right, so let's skip down to number 14 because it looks a little more difficult, and we'll do that one together, okay?
Okay.
So this is a different idea. This combines our distribution and our combining like terms. So when we have number 14, 14 says 7y minus 2y plus 9. 2y plus 9. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do exactly what we've been doing. We're going to add our assumed -1 here, and we're going to clear these parentheses, right? So this, what we're not going to touch right now is the 7y and the minus. So whatever we don't touch, we bring back down into our equation. Then we have -1 times 2y becomes -2y, -2y, and -1 plus 9. Oh, I need to erase that. And becomes a -9. Thing is so touchy. -9. So what do we have now? Now we have a new equation. We have 7y minus 2y minus 9. So what we're going to do is we're going to collect our like terms. What terms are alike, Ashley? What terms are alike? What look the same? We have two terms that have a variable, right?
2 with y, yeah, y.
So we have 7y and 2y. So we're going to do that first. What is 7y minus 2y?
7y minus 2y is 5.
So we have 5y minus 9. And that becomes our answer. So it's just an extra step, okay? We clear our parentheses. We find our inverse. And then we combine like terms, and it gives us our answer, 5y minus 9.
Okay.
We're going to do some more, don't worry.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah, that's right. So let's do some practice on these, okay?
All right.
So let's go with 9x. And then we have minus 4x plus 3. Now remember, the first thing we have to do is we have to clear these parentheses, right? So what we're not going to mess with right now is this 9x. So we have 9x. We're going to bring that down. Now we're going to do just what we've been doing. We're going to distribute to get rid of the parentheses. So Saleha, we put that -1 there. Tell me how we clear the parentheses. -1 times what?
-1 times 4.
Okay, becomes, what's the answer?
It becomes -4x.
Exactly, -4x. And then -1 times 3 is
-3.
-3. So now you see we have a whole, we've cleared our parentheses, we've done our inverse. Right? Instead of positive 4x plus 3, we have -4x minus 3. You see that, right? So now what we're going to take our like terms, anything that is alike, because you can't subtract 3 from 4x because they're different. They're not the same. One has a variable, one does not, right? So we're going to deal with what we can, which is our 9x minus 4x. So what is 9 minus 4?
Hold on. I got to use a calculator.
It's all right.
Yeah.
You guys don't have a calculator as an accommodation in your IEP, so you're free to use that anytime.
36.
No, honey, it's 9 minus 4.
Oh, 9 minus 4. Okay, my bad.
You're fine.
Oh, then okay, 5. I'm thinking multiplication.
5, you're okay. So we have 5, don't forget the variable x, and then we're going to bring down what's left, minus 3. And this becomes our final answer, 5x minus 3. So this is 2 steps. We clear our parentheses, then we combine like terms. See, this is where we clear our parentheses. That came down. Then we combined our like terms, which is 9x minus 4x, come up with 5x minus 3, and our answer is 5x minus 3.
Okay.
Ashley, do you understand that, kid?
Yeah.
How about you, AJ?
Yes, I understand it.
Okay, we'll do a couple more because I want to make sure, okay? I want to make sure you guys have the concept. Absolutely no sense in going on unless you understand it. So I'm going to do a couple with you. Do something that looks a little more. Yeah, here we go.
I'm going to close my door real quick, okay?
What's that?
I'm going to close my door real quick.
Okay, sure. Thank you. So we have 2x plus 7x. And then minus 4x plus 6. All right, so what is the first thing we're going to do? What are we dealing with first?
With the parentheses.
The parentheses, right. So remember, whatever we're not doing right now, we're just going to bring back down into our new equation. 2x plus 7. Now we deal with the parentheses. Ashley, tell me how to clear the parentheses.
I'm back.
Thank you, Sawyer.
4x.
Well, we put the 1 up, assumed 1 here. You're right, negative 4x. So minus 4x, and then
Negative 6.
multiply the 1 times the 6, right? Gives us negative 6. Okay, now we're going to combine our like terms. What terms are alike, guys? So, Leah, what terms do you see that are alike?
2x.
All 3 of them?
The x.
Oh, wait.
No, you're right. You're right. And Ashley was saying it. 2x, 7x, and 4x. So we're just going to go left to right to start. What is 2x plus 7x?
9. 9x.
9x, yes. So we have 9x minus 4x minus 6. Okay, so now combining like terms again. What is 9x minus 4x?
5x.
So great. 5x minus 6. Can we do anything else with that?
No.
No, we can't, because remember, we can't take 6 away from 5x because they're not the same. We can't combine unlike terms. So this leaves us with our final answer, 5x minus 6. Great job. You guys all understand that?
Yeah.
All right, you're doing fantastic. I love it. All right, do you guys feel like you want to try and work on these on your own for a little bit? Are you prepared to work on them on your own?
That was sir.
Yes.
Okay. So, Leah, how about you, kiddo?
Yeah.
All right, Ashley?
Yeah.
All right. So remember, the assignment is 2 through 30 even. I'm going to be here. So if you get stuck, just unmute, tell me some help, work it out on the board together. About the last 15 minutes of class, we're going to come back together. Because you guys have, inside your Google Classroom, you have a short little 5-question quiz on this material, okay? This is my way to assess your knowledge, make sure you guys truly understand what you're doing. And also in your Google Classroom is another 5-question student self-assessment. It's asking you questions about how you felt about the lesson, your ability to participate in the lesson. So you're going to have to fill both of those out by the end of class as well, okay?
Okay.
All right, so remember, any questions you have, just unmute and ask me. I'm going to be here. We can work on it together. You guys sure you feel solid?
Yep.
AJ?
Yeah. Okay.
Don't give me till 2.
All right.
I'm so
The time
sorry.
is 2.
Man, you're doing fine, dude. You don't need to apologize. You're doing great. You guys did really good today. All right, so work on that. Let me know if you need help. Great job.